On behalf of the League of Women Voters of South San Mateo County, I welcome the candidates, and especially you, the audience, to this free public forum for the Menlo Park City Council. I'm Carol Dorshkin, a member of the League of Women Voters for South San Mateo County. Also here is Debbie Mayo, our League Candidate Forums Coordinator, over there. And we have several other volunteers who are going to be keeping, the timekeeper will be Lucille Spurlock. Our question sorters are Joanne Sanders and Shirley Desmarais, who are to my left, and Debbie Mayo will be collecting your questions. The League of Women Voters is a national, nonpartisan volunteer organization of women and men. Our education mission is to encourage your active and informed participation in your government at every level. The League does not endorse candidates nor political parties. Our sole interest is in helping voters gain fair and unbiased information in order to make an informed decision on Election Day, November 2nd. In addition to this forum, I encourage you to use the California State League of Women Voters website, smartvoter.org. To begin with, I will ask everyone to please turn off your cell phones, if you haven't done so already. And this event is being videotaped and will be replayed on local public access TV and on the Smart Voter website. And actually, I think I heard that it was being shown live, as a matter of fact. Let's see. Questions will be taken from the audience, which will be submitted on 3x5 cards. Please raise your hand if you would like to submit a question, and it will be picked up. Each candidate will have 2 minutes for an opening statement and also 2 minutes for a closing statement. There are and they will also have 2 minutes to respond to the questions. A League of Women Voters volunteer will monitor the time. There are 3 seats to be elected to the Menlo Park City Council, each for a 4-year term. There are 6 candidates. And they are Hayward Robinson, Chuck Bernstein, Richard Klein, Peter Otake, Kirsten Keith, and Russell Peterson. Got here in the nick of time. That's great. Numbers have been drawn to determine the order of opening statements and order of responding to questions. Now we'll begin with the opening statements. Ms. Keith, you selected number 1.
Yes, I did. Thank you. Good evening, everybody, and thank you for coming tonight to this forum. It's nice to have a chance to address the residents of Menlo Park. My name's Kirsten Keith, and I've up here often, actually. I'm on the Planning Commission now, and I have been on this Planning Commission for Menlo Park for the last 6 years. So I'm up here twice a month at least, sometimes 3 times a month, running the Planning Commission business of our city with my fellow colleagues, some of them who I see here tonight. I'll give you a little bit of background about myself. I was born here in California, in San Jose, and went to UC Santa Barbara, went to law school in the Bay Area, and I'm married. My husband is here in the back. He's an engineer at Google. I have 2 children. My daughter's 12. She goes to Hillview. And I have a son who's 10, and he's at Encinal. And we also have other various animals and things. So I wanted to say I'm running for Menlo Park City Council because I have a proven track record. I've been on this Planning Commission, as I said, for 6 years. And we sit up here as planning commissioners, and we vote on things, and we just vote on things and make things happen up here. And most of the items that we vote on are not appealed. They're just simply passed, and we move on to the next thing. And we do this all with the benefit of staff, but no city attorney, no consultants. We just make our decisions. I was appointed to the Planning Commission originally in 2004 by Jellens, Dubach, and Winkler, and then I was reappointed by Ferguson, Klein, and Hayward Robinson. I have a broad base of support, and I look forward to sitting on City Council. So thank you. I'd appreciate your vote.
Okay, thank you. And next, Mr. Klein.
Thank you. My name is Rich Klein. I'm the mayor of Menlo Park. I do want to thank the League of Women Voters for putting this together, taking the leadership on this. It was great 4 years ago. I'm sure it's going to be great again. I do want to thank also fellow candidates up here. It's a courageous step to put your name out there and to take your lumps and run for office. It's a volunteer job at best, and I do want to thank you for doing this. It's the democratic process, and thank you. You know, I've been on the council now 4 years, and I've lived in the city for 11 years. I have 3 daughters, and Kiara and Gina and Ilaria. The oldest one is first grade at Oak Knoll. I coach Little League. I have coached Little League. I coach now a cornucopia of girls' sports and things. I coach soccer. I'm sure I'll be a girls' coach in volleyball. I'll probably be a Girl Scout troop leader at some point. I am definitely going to be a girl's dad for the rest of my life, and that's a good thing. You know, we've lived here, as I said, for 11 years. I lived in the East Bay for a long time, and formative years I lived in Berkeley and Oakland and Castro Valley. We worked very hard to move here. We had to save up money. We had friends that lived here, and we wanted to live here for a long time, and we were able to take the plunge. And we're here. We feel blessed to be here every day. It's a beautiful community, and I think everybody here knows this. The education system is top-notch, and you know, we do share ingredients with our neighbors. We do know our neighbors, and so it's something to be preserved. And 4 years ago, I did run to preserve that, and I'm running again to continue that, to preserve our small-town charm and what we are. Things do change quickly, as we've seen in the past 2 years in the economics. We've seen that with San Bruno and the tragedy that's happened recently, and I want to help the city prepare for all of those things by putting good strategic plans together for revenue, for new business, and to set our course for a long and very prosperous future for our city. So, thank you.
Oh, I'm sorry. Mr. Bernstein.
This forum is the essence of American democracy, and I want to thank the League of Women. Oh, start up. Thank you. As you can tell, I'm a neophyte. I've never sat here before, so I didn't know how to turn the speaker on. I was just commenting that this is really, to me, the essence of American democracy, and I want to thank the League of Women Voters for sponsoring it. My name is Chuck Bernstein. I'm a challenger. But before launching into the reasons why I'd like to change the direction and thus composition of the council, I want to acknowledge my gratitude to the incumbents for serving the citizens of Menlo Park. They prepare, they show up, and I'm grateful for what they do. I'm running for city council because I do want to change the direction. I want to improve and preserve the small town charm we have. I want to maintain the high quality of services we have. And I want to do it in a fiscally responsible manner, something that I don't believe is being done now. However, what I think and what I want is only half of the equation. I think the important thing for people to judge how they will vote is what I will do. And I think my background demonstrates that. I have business and government experience to make good decisions. And I have the ability to make sure those decisions are carried out effectively and efficiently. I have a strong financial background, and I know from my business what it means to balance a budget every single month, and to do that in a way that maintains a very high quality level of services. I've served in a variety of government areas: education, the arts, residential and commercial development, and finance. As a parent of 2 sons, I've been involved in scouting and youth services. Thank you.
Mr. Robinson.
Thank you and good evening. I'd also like to thank the League and the Chamber of Commerce who have put this on for many years. It is truly a terrific community service that you provide to us. Also want to thank my fellow candidates for running, particularly the challengers. As you're finding out, running for office in any city is a lot of work. It's particularly so in Menlo Park. But careful what you wish for. Being on council is actually more work. And I also want to acknowledge your passion and your ideas. It's really great that we have people not only who come to our meetings, but who are also willing to serve. And last but not least, I want to thank you, the audience, for coming this evening to hear us. I'm not sure we'll get to all your questions answered tonight, but we'll certainly try. You know, I see Menlo Park through many lenses, both as a parent. My son Seamus is here tonight, whose children use the athletic and recreation programs here. As a scientist across the street at SRI, who takes advantage of, has to deal with the city's building and planning departments at times. As a bicyclist who's riding on our city streets, as a commuter stuck in traffic, Menlo Park traffic. And most recently as a council member and as your mayor last year. Serving on the council has given me a much greater appreciation for the vital role that municipal services play in our community. Almost every member of our community has been touched by city government, whether it be paving streets, installing new sidewalks, story time at the library, or community policing. We touch you all. The central challenge of the council is finding ways to continue providing these essential city services while balancing the budget. Although the city has cut services expenses significantly, the sluggish economy has hurt our ability to provide. I look forward to answering your questions. Thank you.
Mr. Otake.
Good evening. My name is Peter Otake. I'd like to thank the Chamber and the League of Women Voters for organizing this tonight. I grew up in Menlo Park. I graduated from La Entrada and Woodside High School and then attended Harvard and got my MBA at Stanford. And as a result, I understand the unique balance that we try and preserve here in Menlo Park between small town charm and economic vibrancy. I moved back here in many ways because of the small town charm and to raise my family here. And for the last 3 years, I've served on the Menlo Park Fire Protection District Board of Directors, and I've been your president of the Fire District this year. I'm running for Menlo Park City Council because I'm the only candidate with extensive financial expertise and have balanced a $30 million government budget in each of the last 3 years. I'm also live on Middle Avenue. I look at the empty dealerships every day on El Camino, and I pledge that it won't be another 4 years where we continue to see these empty properties. I bought my first car at one of the dealerships when I grew up, and it just pains me to see those properties empty and not generating tax revenue or vibrancy or jobs for the city. I'm the only candidate who can prepare Menlo Park for the next disaster. From serving on the Fire District Board of Directors and also in my job in a nonprofit public-private partnership for disaster preparedness. As we've seen this year, we've had 2 nearby disasters in San Bruno and East Palo Alto with the plane crash there. And I can improve the coordination between the City of Menlo Park and the various agencies that we need to have an effective response. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And Mr. Peterson.
Hi, I'm Russ Peterson. Thank you for putting up with me showing up late to these events. I am coaching volleyball, and my daughter is very much engaged in that activity with me as a player, not a coach. I'm a product of the Midwest. I'm an at-home dad. I was a former naval nuclear engineer. Moved around the country, seen a lot of different countries as well as a lot of our own country. Been an at-home dad since our 3 kids got home from the hospital. They are now in Hillview Middle School, which is quite the challenge. And I've basically been volunteering and part-time teaching at the schools, been on the school foundation, and now I'm currently the co-vice president of the PTO. Boy Scouts and Cub Scouts is kind of another one of the things that I spend a lot of time doing. and had some technical careers and things going, growing up here through the Silicon Valley. Why am I here running? You may notice as the night goes on, I'm not really a politician. I don't really speak very political speak. I'm kind of direct. Well, okay, I'm direct. And I just like to put it this way. I'm an independent thinker. I specifically entered this race not to be in a slate. I know we've had some of those issues, and I'm glad to see that we're kind of not doing that slate sort of thing this year. I think I want to represent, well, I don't think I want to represent, I want to represent a voice I think is not being heard on the size of growth and the things that we're doing. I agree with Peter and some of the others. We need to do something with El Camino. I think that needs to be our focus. I think we've gone a little bit on the high side and a little bit big. So I'm not against the plans and the planning that people have done. I just think we need to moderate some of that and focus on our future in a fiscally responsible way. Thank you.
Thank you.